果有人送你一包红包，就是来祝福你的，也不是讲究那笔钱。
Yes.
Yes.
Perhaps for wedding angpaos, it would be good to recover maybe 60 to 70% of the cost.
毕竟，如果是自己的亲朋好友的话，那么也要考虑一下他们举办一场婚礼的成本，所以尽可能的让他们帮忙回个本。
很贵，很贵，很像吃一餐那顿可能就是 OK 啦，就是鱼吃，但是就要付很像100多块200，有甚至200多块。
Friends. No, it's the parents of the bridal and the husband's going to pay, or it's themselves that are going to participate on, but never the guests.
年底是结婚旺季，接到红炸弹出席婚礼时都会包红包。在新加坡，尤其华人社会，这已是约定俗成的文化。那么，出席一场婚礼，红包要怎么包？包多少？是看地点还是看交情？包红包是单纯的送祝福，还是应该要出于友情或亲情，帮忙新人抵消婚宴费用呢？我们今天就直接拉队来到一个婚礼现场，听听新人和客人们怎么说。
通常我们都会看好像市价吧，然后就照市价来包。对。
然后如果关系特别好的话，可以多包一点。
For Chinese weddings, we should follow the culture and tradition associated with the wedding. So it's appropriate to follow the market rate for whichever banquet you're attending. Otherwise, might be pricey. Yeah.
Honestly, it depends. Depends on the location. Of course, we'll do our due diligence to do an research.
But also depends how close we are to the couple. Yeah, like it's a close friend or like a relative. Maybe we give a bit more.
Personally, I would think anything more than 200 per seat will be expensive, and I don't think I would want my guests to be paying that kind of amount. So maybe under 200.
12月是结婚旺季，街上肯定还有很多人也接到了红炸弹。我们也去问问他们，走吧。
那个数目 depends 啊 ，like 如果是 church 的话，就是100多到200，但如果是有 dinner 的话，会比较贵一点，稍微200-300多了。
我结婚的时候2块都有。
你在意吗？
没有办法，我也不在意。就是有一个红纸，就是有一个我广东人叫来西，就是这样的。
The first one I gave was 120, then the next one I gave was almost like 188.
通常是包好像是200或200以上，然后再来一般行情，因为酒店都是不便宜一桌的，不像以前几百块可以，现在不可以了，1000多块一桌。
最少120。为什么现在很贵吗？你为什么还有限定？你那一桌要不要一直设酒？一般上只有一杯茶或者汽水。如果你要设酒，酒店那个餐馆要跟你收钱的。
因为我有一段时间没有参加，就 COVID 的时期。那我听说我朋友就是那个价码有些改变，所以我就会去上网查一查，好像这个某某酒店的价码是多少，我就照着那个网站包。
在新加坡出席酒店宴席婚礼，不知道红包金额要包多少，上网一搜就可以找到不少指南。这些指南多数按照地点标明宴席的人头价，甚至细致午餐、晚餐、周日和周末的价格。以周六晚餐宴席来说，最低的红包金额是106元，最高可达402元。
问题是，如果你发现要去的婚礼行情价超出自己原本愿意付的数额，怎么办？你还会照付吗？还是说早知道就不去查什么行情价了，想包多少就包多少？
习俗吧，就习惯了，就是每个人跟着这样的，而且要帮忙补贴那个费用了。
我觉得是一个好的事情，起码我们有一个认知说，这样有时候这样我没有出门出太多的，可能会有点刷菇这样，这个其实是这样多钱的。然后就有从那个网站我们可以看到艾丽莎的价码多少，起码不要赚钱，也不要让新人新娘亏本嘛，对吧？
Honestly, I personally don't agree with the practice. Yeah, I think it's not great because people who may not be as well off might find it difficult to give this rate and may feel paiseh. In the Indian side of things, there's no expectation for any amount of the rate packet value. It's totally up to you, and there's no paisehness or feeling bad that you didn't give enough.
I feel like it kind of makes weddings very a bit monetized or like commercialized, which is a bit sad.
My children is getting married, so I know per head is like $70. It's a buffet, so it's like anyway, whoever know, they will contribute what they can afford. So we don't really, yeah. So we know the market price of the what hotel, this hotel, which hotel. So we just give whatever lah. It's okay lah. It's just a blessing that we want.
很像只有新加坡有而已。Like 因为我有去 Malaysia for wedding 也是，他们的包的红包比较 standard 一点，like across the venues 都是 like 一样价钱 ，across like maybe about for Malaysia from 50 to 100 ringgit per person.
Singapore Chinese weddings, guests they give money, they hope to cover the wedding costs for the.
Really? Oh no. In France, if you do that, it can be very bad considered. No, it can be oof. No. No. In France, no. It's the parents of the bridal and the husband's going to pay, or it's themselves are going to participate. But never the guests will give. The guests will come. It's a pleasure to receive the guests, and they give the money and they give the gift. But no money. No.
Unfortunate, but necessary. Yeah, I think because it's very expensive, right? Dinners here are very expensive, so just to help the couple to what's that called? Yes, offset. Yeah, I guess it's necessary, lor.
This trend sort of started around the current generation, where there is a mix of feelings of wanting to know how much ang bao to pack for the wedding couple, as well as to sort of make sure that they are not overpacking or underpacking in that sense. Then, from the perspective of someone who is at this point in time getting married, I feel that, to be very honest, wedding packets, when it's given, it is a blessing. So, 如果有人送你一包红包，就是来祝福你的，也不是讲究那笔钱。I would say, realistically speaking, a post-COVID or even pre-COVID wedding at a hotel should roughly set you back about $30,000 to $50,000.
Perhaps for wedding ang baos, it would be good to recover maybe 60 to 70% of the cost.
I can sort of understand, because to host a wedding can be very expensive. In the past, when our parents are hosting weddings, it's quite cheap. Right? Maybe you can get a table for a few $100s. But then now to get a table, you need to fork out at least $1,000 over $2,000, sometimes up to $3,000-4,000 per table of 10. So in that sense, there are still couples who dream of having to host a wedding, but may or may not have the financial capability of doing so, and therefore they might end up unconsciously relying on the rate packet money to offset some of their spending, which personally, to me, I feel that shouldn't be the case, because if you are financially able to host a wedding, you shouldn't be looking at the rate packet money as a way to offset your spending. Yeah, you should take it as a gift from the guest.
I'm a bit more realistic, so I feel I resonate better with the younger generation of covering your own seat because from hosting my own wedding is really quite a huge sum of money. So ideally, we don't, after netting off everything, we don't spend too much now, because down the line we can also expect to have additional costs like in the house or renovation.
我不要让新人亏，因为真的是不容易了哈，要预备还有举办一场婚礼，所以要诚心诚意的去祝福一对新人，让他们起家 不那么难吧。
我自己来讲的话，既然我是请客嘛，对不对？我请客就是我要请他吃完，请他吃我就要有这个心理准备说，这个就是我买单哦，对不对？不然这个不是叫请客，这个就是叫让自己 go Dutch。
I think as a participant or as a friend, you just wanted to help them out and also use that as a way to give your blessings.
And for your own wedding, would you expect the same?
I don't want to hold a wedding because it's for practical reasons. I would rather to use the money to spend it on something else, like maybe the PTO itself or traveling, etc. I believe some of my friends are starting to have that mindset, but of course there is other societal factors that you have to take into consideration, like your friends, your family members, your relatives who are expecting you to have this kind of weddings itself. So it really depends lah. But of course it's also depending on your partner, whether he or she wants that traditional wedding, etc.
I have friends around me who are trying to go against this trend. So for example, they try to look for alternate venues where you can't actually find the rates online, so people don't feel the pressure, of like having to meet this expected rate. I think one thing I've been considering is whether like in my invitation to my guests, I can tell them like you don't have to write your name on the ang pao, so there's no like any expectations for you to meet any rates. There's no pressure. You can give whatever you are comfortable giving.
Germany is a little different. There's a list, and the bride and the groom ask what they want to have as a present. And we give more present. The tradition to give money is the last chance. It's unpolite, it's unpersonally.
这个我没听过，但我觉得，其实这样的做法也是挺有趣的。我觉得应该行得通，尤其是好像我们就是新一代的，我们比较容易接受这种文化，肯定行得通，而且更实际，我觉得。对。
毕竟我们一句古话就是礼轻情意重，对不对？我们几十年交情也不是说那么100-200块一个红包就能够涵盖的。所以，如果有一份特别能够展现出我们的心意的礼物，那也是非常合理的。
I would say Singaporeans are quite practical because ultimately cash is still king. You can choose however you want to spend the cash on. Of course, I understand that there might be some very foundational differences in terms of perhaps lifestyle and culture. Because in Singapore, those who host the wedding banquet or who are getting married may not have their own house yet. So for the two of us, our house is only available in like 2026 to 2027. So even if we have a wish list and people do want to utilize those wish lists to give us some items, it won't be as practical because we have no space to keep them. Yeah. So I would say really depends on the situation for the wedding, the couple getting married.
If you ask me to come up with a list of gifts, I don't think I can count more than 5 items.